Chapter 459. The night slowly began to fade. Far beyond the walls of Silver Shield City, the horizon turned pale beneath the first traces of dawn. Dark skies gave way to a cold gray light. The battlefield below remained ruined and silent. Vast stretches of shattered earth were still filled with water from the attack of Sofia. Mist drifted slowly across the broken plains. Fragments of destroyed golems lay buried beneath mud and stone. No new enemy movement had appeared through the night. That silence alone felt unnatural. Razeal stood atop the wall with the others. His gaze remained fixed outward. He had not moved since the battle ended. The wind moved lightly through his silver hair. The city behind them awakened. It did not wake to peace. It woke to preparation. Bells rang in the distance. Soldiers shifted positions. Civilians moved deeper into the inner districts. The kingdom had understood. War was coming now. Sofia remained silent beside him for a long while. She finally spoke. "Do you really intend to fight this?" she asked quietly. "Are we truly serious about staying?" Her eyes remained on the battlefield below. "Because this might be the last chance we have to leave." "I am staying," Razeal answered simply. He did not turn toward her. Sofia narrowed her eyes toward the pale horizon. This is no longer the same situation if a supreme truly enters the battlefield. Her tone remained calm. Genuine concern lingered beneath it. She folded her arms against her chest. "I still have not fully adapted to this atmosphere. I do not know how much of my strength I will be able to use if things become serious." Only then did she turn toward him, and even though she paused, "I am still confident in surviving." Several nearby soldiers stiffened after hearing those words spoken so casually. "But that is not our concern." The expression of Sofia hardened. "The real problem is that even if all of us combine our strength together," her eyes swept toward the others gathered atop the wall. "What do we have? 15 great saints at most. Some additional forces. Some strange powers." A breath escaped her. "Against a supreme, that is nothing." Nobody interrupted her. No one there truly disagreed. "Not to mention," Sofia continued calmly, "we are not simply fighting. We also need to protect the kingdom itself while doing so." Her gaze shifted toward Silver Shield City behind them. "If the battle reaches the city, people die regardless of who wins." She looked back toward the ruined battlefield. "And we still do not know how many great saints stand on the other side. Whether only one supreme is coming, or more." The wind blew softly through her ocean blue hair. "And even if our only objective became killing that supreme," she shook her head, "I still would not call that likely." Her words were blunt. They were truthful. Silence settled atop the wall. Finally, Razeal turned his head toward her. "Who said all of you are fighting?" The words drew the attention of everyone. The brows of Sofia narrowed. "You mean, you alone against the entire army?" She pointed toward him, then toward the shattered battlefield beyond the walls, where mist drifted above ruined earth and drowned craters. Razeal shrugged. That answer made several expressions tighten around him. Sofia stared at him before shaking her head. "Have you ever actually fought a real war before?" she asked. "Not a duel or a battle, but a war." Her voice remained calm. Disbelief had begun creeping into it. "I admire your strength," Lord Kale said. He stepped closer. His heavy armor shifted with each movement. "But she is right." His expression remained grim. "War is not something one man carries alone." He looked toward the distant battlefield. "Even if all the great saints within this kingdom stood together, even if every available force gathered here," his jaw tightened, "holding back a supreme would still be nearly impossible." The old warrior returned his gaze toward Razeal. "Her concerns are justified." Razeal listened quietly. Finally, he spoke. "Not that I am looking down at you all or anything, but you all would only get in my way. You would get yourselves injured if I allowed you all to enter the battlefield." The words came without arrogance, which somehow made them even more irritating. Sofia looked at him. "But you are looking down on us." "Well," Razeal admitted after a brief pause. "True." A vein twitched near the forehead of Sofia. Several others looked no better. Even the expression of Maria twitched after hearing such a straightforward answer. For a brief moment, the urge to strike him crossed more than one mind, standing atop the wall. Still, nobody acted. All of them knew he genuinely believed what he was saying. Sofia inhaled through her nose. She calmed herself. Then she crossed her arms again. "You think I can get injured simply from the aftermath of your battle?" she asked. A dangerous smile formed on her face. Razeal nodded honestly. "Yes, certainly." That answer nearly caused another collective reaction around him. Even Lord Kale looked speechless. The left eye of Sofia twitched. "How about," she said slowly, "you explain exactly how you intend to protect this kingdom, hold back millions of enemies, deal with whatever great saints arrive." Her gaze sharpened on him. "And fight a supreme at the same time." The wind moved around them. "Explain it to me in a way that actually makes sense." For once, Razeal nodded immediately. He found the question reasonable. "I only need proper preparations." His eyes moved toward the city behind them. "What do you think I was doing these last few hours?" Maria frowned and rubbed her chin. "Preparations," she repeated. "What kind of preparations?" Razeal looked toward her. "Yes." His gaze moved across all of them standing atop the wall. "I will show you." A brief pause followed. But before that, his expression remained calm. "How about I leave the kingdom protection to all of you?" Several brows narrowed. "You all should be capable enough to handle that much." He looked toward Sofia. "Though honestly, I doubt you will even need to move much." That sentence made the dangerous smile of Sofia deepen. "Leave it to me then," she said calmly. "I will do you that favor." She lifted her chin. Her arms remained crossed. "But now you have to show me properly." A faint challenge entered her eyes. "And while we are at it," she added, How about we make a little bet? What kind of bet? Razeal asked. He turned toward Sofia. Faint curiosity appeared in his expression. The lips of Sofia curved. If you fail to hold this war by yourself, she said calmly, or if you need any of us to step in and protect you. Her ocean blue eyes glinted beneath the rising dawn. Then we go on a proper honeymoon next. The entire wall fell silent. The wind seemed to pause. The eyes of Maria widened. The scream remained inside her head. Her face twitched once near the corner of her lips. Nancy covered part of her face with one hand. Her ears reddened beneath her pale hair. Even the soldiers nearby suddenly became interested in staring toward the battlefield. Lord Kale coughed into one fist. Nissa turned her face away as though she had heard nothing. Grace blinked in confusion before lowering her gaze. Razeal looked at Sofia strangely for several seconds. Finally, he spoke. And if I win, he asked. He raised one eyebrow. If I do not need anyone help at all, what exactly do I gain? The smile of Sofia widened. Anything you want. She winked at him. The silence became worse. Several people along the wall pretended to focus elsewhere with renewed intensity. Razeal stared at her before extending his hand. You are going to regret saying that. Sofia placed her hand into his without hesitation. And I sincerely hope it becomes that kind of regret, she replied. Intentionally, her fingers traced across his palm before she released him. Razeal pulled his hand back. He gave her a strange look. Sofia looked satisfied with herself. The expression of Maria darkened. Nancy lowered her face into her hands. Razeal ignored all of them. Anyways, he muttered. He turned back toward the battlefield. Let me show you what preparations actually look like. A faint grin appeared on his face. I learned hundreds of dark trap spells for situations exactly like this. He walked toward the edge of the wall. Traps? Sofia frowned as she watched his back. You think traps will hold a supreme? There was no mockery in her voice, only genuine concern. Not to mention an army. Razeal did not answer. He looked down over the battlefield. The morning light spread across the ruined plains. Finally, he spoke. Have you ever fought someone whose strength comes close to supreme? Sofia asked behind him. Not a duel of strength. An actual battle where the other person genuinely intends to kill you. Her gaze remained fixed on him. And no, she added before he could answer. I am not talking about your duel with the Guardian of the Sea. That was a controlled duel. The atmosphere grew heavier. Because if you had actually experienced a real supreme level battle, Sofia continued calmly, you would not be standing this confidently right now. Razeal turned around. His crimson eyes met hers. I have faced things far worse than you can imagine, he said. Several people atop the wall exchanged uneasy glances. Sofia narrowed her eyes. And have you fought them in battles where they truly wanted you dead? Razeal remained silent. A faint smile appeared on his face. I have even died, he said. The entire wall went still. Nobody spoke. Even the expression of Sofia paused. The sentence sounded absurd. No one could understand what he meant. Razeal shook his head as though the reaction bored him. Anyways, he muttered. Just watch and learn, if you all can. He lowered one hand toward the stone beneath the wall. His palm pressed against the cold surface. Darkness spread outward from beneath his fingers. Great bone wall, he whispered. To be continued. Hope you liked today's video. Join the community by subscribing and dropping a like. I'll be back with another update as soon as possible. See you then.